Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Here's a discussion that generally people ignore, angers them, brings up the level of stress where conversation is usually redirected elsewhere. Debt. Managing your debts. Male and female alike all like to buy things. We have expenses. In other words, we have liabilities. And then we have that income. And when those liabilities are a challenge, we generally will pull out that credit card. We will use some form of debt in order to maximize our utility. In other words, that's an economic term for satisfaction. Well, there's a couple different ways to address this. Remove that utility function. Remove that satisfaction function and live within your means. Cut back. Who cares what other people think? They're not paying your bills. And until someone else is paying your bills, live within your means. Freeze your spending for 3 months as a test, just to see that, look, life still goes on. Maybe you cut back a little bit. Maybe instead of that coffee stop every morning, maybe you're making your own coffee. Maybe you're bringing your lunch to work. Maybe you're not visiting the restaurants as often. And maybe your other non-discretionary income, you've cut back by 40 or 50%. You focused on paying down your credit card bills. You focused on your credit union. You've saved enough, or you have a healthy emergency fund. You're accelerating payments on your home mortgage. You got a part-time job. These are the areas that, if you're serious about retirement, and you're 25 years old, I get it. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of fun things. There's a lot of experiences. There's a lot of sharing. But in order to take care of that, avoid using that credit card. Get a part-time job. Bankroll that. Put it into a short-term investment. And then if you want to go on vacation, use that money and pay it off directly. Clearly, you can use your credit card to pay for it, but then just immediately turn around and pay off that credit card. So most people carry debt in one form or another. This is from FINRA, a great resource. This is the financial industry regulator for stockbrokers, registered representative, investment advisors. I used to be registered with FINRA long ago, just FYI. Most people carry debt in one form or another, and you probably are one of them. Your debts, also called liabilities, can include the mortgage on your home, the loan on your car, your student loan, or your credit cards. Virtually all these debts come with an obligation to pay monthly interest on the balance you still owe. As you prepare to invest, take stock of your current debts and try to pay them down. The less money you put towards paying off outstanding debt and interest charges, the more you'll have to save and invest for the future. If you use your credit card to make purchases, you should know that you have advantages and disadvantages. If you spend within your means and pay off your balances on time and in full each month, credit cards can serve a safe and convenient substitute for cash. 45% of Americans pay off their credit cards on a monthly basis. Not bad. Leaving 55% carrying that $1 trillion, believe it or not, credit card debt is up to $1 trillion. There's a lot of interest being paid for that convenience. I say pooey to that interest, especially if it's at 22%. And I'd rather have my money earning a return as opposed to MasterCard or Visa or any of the other credit card companies. There's also an added bonus if you pay off your credit cards on a monthly basis. It will help you build a solid credit history. But if you use them to purchase items you don't otherwise can't afford, or max out your cards to cover routine monthly expenses, credit cards can quickly compound your debt and hurt your credit score. In other words, that's a general rule of thumb. If you have a $10,000 credit limit, the general rule of thumb is 30%. Don't use any more than 30% or $3,000 of your total credit card limit. So here's that point of frustration. Because people are not number oriented, it's the minority. When I talk numbers, I'm just going to talk straight up instead of showing you a spreadsheet. Few money management strategies pay off as well or with less risk than paying off all high interest debt you may have. Let's say you have $3,000 balance on a credit card that charges 18% APR and requires a minimum payment of 2.5% each month. You're going to get stuck with this. You're going to get your credit card statement and it's going to go minimum payment. So you make the minimum payment and you don't make another charge on your card. How long is it going to take to pay off that $3,000? Assuming you charge nothing else, it will take you 263 months, nearly 22 years to pay off your debt. Yeah, if you don't think credit card industry isn't a bunch of thieves, then think twice. Do not follow this. Maximize your payment. Put in a $300 a month payment, a $400 a month payment. Forget this 2.5, override it, and maximize your outstanding payment. Do what you can to get rid of this balance. In addition, the total amount you pay for the $3,000 charge will be more than the $3,000. Your interest will be $4,115, an amount that you could have saved or invested. If you can't pay off credit card debt immediately, work out a structured plan, pay off the balance as quick as possible to save money in the long run. In a recent survey, 19% of respondents reported spending more than their income over the previous 12 months. Many were behind on medical bills or paid their mortgage late. Good news is that in most cases, spending can be controlled. This is all about taking control, discipline, and control your spending. So 1 in 5 struggle to make ends meet. And I get it. You're going to be faced with these medical bills. Now, here's the deal. There are enough programs out there called charity care. If you're having a challenge with your medical bills, call up and speak to somebody about charity care and see what the industry will do in order to help you out. Your mortgage. Well, you don't want to be late on any of this stuff, but focus on your income. Make sure you have an emergency fund. Make sure you pay off this credit card as quickly as possible. If you have multiple credit cards, get rid of them. Comment. Let me know. Let me know if you have any type of budget. If you don't have a budget, just go to my YouTube page. Just look at budgets. Under the playlist, there are plenty of articles. There's a link to spreadsheets that you can automatically open. They're free. And then there's just a ton of information related to how to budget. Then just cut back your expenses. Get a part-time job. Get your partner to also get a part-time job and make it a priority. Comment. Let me know. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Hope that helped. Thanks for watching. See you soon.